Truckers X TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. Hello? 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 Is that you, right?
Me? Face justice? Surely you jest. You are in no position to force my hand, lawyer.
Oh?
Surely you haven't forgotten about the Defense Culpability Act? Those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In short, should I be convicted of murdering my husband, your dear brother, who delivered false testimony in my defense, shall also be found guilty.
What? That can't be! Can it? By delivering false testimony in the course of protecting a guilty party, you would certainly be judged by this court as supporting a criminal. And the DC Act would most definitely come into play. But that law is so broad that anyone could be convicted under it. When it comes to DC Act, even I am conflicted, and yet, as it currently stands, it is the law of the land. Didn't she edit something out of that? Of all the absurd things I've seen, this law really takes the cake. Now what? What can we even do at this point?
You need not look so forlorn. Dirk has been cleared of all charges. So let us leave all thoughts of the real killing revolution in the past where it belongs.
You want us to just let her off scot-free? And yet, I don't see any other choice! We cannot yield to her here, Paulo. If it will move the revolution forward, I will gladly face the DC Act. Now do it! Accuse Queen Gunnar of the crime she has committed. But...
Such insolence!
What you speak of is not revolution. Our kingdom will not function without its sovereign. And Wright cannot ascend to the throne, for she is yet incapable of channeling spirits. Thus, to accuse me is to wish destruction upon our fair kingdom, you terrorist.
Terrorist?
If you would still insist on accusing me, then as ruling sovereign of Khura'in, I proclaim the following.
As I thought.
All who imperil the crown, no matter the reason, shall be subject to immediate execution upon the Queen's orders.
What? Immediate execution?
Do you still not comprehend? Then let me be clear, for the sake of this kingdom's future, and in accordance with the laws of Khura'in, I command that you put to death at once.
You're just making bluff! What the? Isn't this going a bit too far? Why is the Khura'in Royal Guard?
They were on standby in case of an attack by foolish optimistic terrorists. Now, if you will continue to oppose me, the very embodiment of the law, then under my regal authority, you shall all be put to death.
Objection!
Oh, come on! This is insane, even for you! You can't possibly get away with something like this! This is a court of law! You can't just order our execution without due process! Now look, Apollo, truth and due process are certainly important, but so is your life, so think before you speak again! But... Please, Apollo, do not make this any worse than it already is. I cannot lose you to the Twilight Realm too. What am I supposed to do? How do I win against an opponent that can rewrite the law as she sees fit? How can I ever bring her to justice? Is this really how it all ends?
It is your life on your accusation, lawyer. You cannot hope for both. It is time to cease this insanity.
What do I do? Should I accuse Queen Khura'in? Yo, which one do I use? First option. Accuse. I know what I have to do. Mr. Wright, you know that saying you're constantly reminding me and I'm a fan of? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest spiles? You never failed to surprise me, Apollo. And Nayuta, you know that creed we know ever since we were kids? A dragon never yields? Apollo. They're not merely words. They are what's carrying us this far. And now, it's time to honor these words, these memories of the ones who gave them to us. I couldn't agree with you more, Apollo. Those words are more important to me than you know. And if there's any time to remember them, it's now.
It would seem, Apollo, that not one but two auspicious creatures dwell deep within you. A fierce dragon and a virtuous phoenix that shall scatter the clouds hiding the heavens. I shall join you in a death-defying bluff.
I think I finally understand what those words really mean, and the resolve they embody.
Are you smiling even in the face of certain doom? Is there no end to your defiance?
Unfortunately for you, no. I won't let fear or even the law force me to abandon the pursuit of truth. Because there is another saying in my country, the truth will set you free. Indeed, that is precisely what Dirk sought to do through this trial. He wished for us to break free from a certain despicable, spiders immobilizing silk thread. Okay, you're just too many adjectives here. We won't be intimidated by just unjust laws, or give in to fear. Abandoning the truth like that is just not a part of my playbook. There is only one path before us. Revolution! A time to make Dirk's dreams a reality is upon us. Your Eminence, if you are the law here in Khura'in, then your very existence is wrong.
Does your desperate bleeding know no end?
I know it's a bit late to ask, but what's that plan? Well, if Khura'in is going to execute us on the spot under the DC Act, and the law itself derives its power from the authority of the Crown, then there's only one thing to do. We dethrone her right here, right now. Alright, but how? It's not like we have a lot of time to come over the way to do it either. I doubt she'll allow you to perform another cross-examination while we think. Don't worry, I'll come up with something. We'll be fine. We can't give up. Not now. We have to keep on fighting to the end. We can't allow these broken trials to go on. It's time to make things right. Oh, here we go. Big ol' finale. If I accuse Khura'in, Nayuta will be subject to the DC Act, which means he will be put to death in accordance with the law. The only way is to dethrone Khura'in. Could this be the key? Is the Founder Orb the key to the revolution? Dirk was convinced that the orb is the key to the revolution and Khura'in's future. In light of Khura'in's obsession with the orb, it makes a large amount of sense. She probably doesn't want anyone using it to gain spiritual powers and rights to the throne. Inga definitely tried to do just that, but that's where it starts to fall apart. Inga couldn't have challenged the Founder even after abducting Miss Fate after all. He didn't know the Founder's name. Inga didn't know the Founder's name. The name of the Founder is only known to those who become Queen. That means the only people who currently know her name are Khura'in and Amara, so even if someone else had the orb, they wouldn't be able to channel the Founder. So that begs the question, why is Khura'in so fixated on the orb? Okay, let's not overthink this. Khura'in is obsessed with the orb because she can't channel spirits. Because that makes sense. Because that's why She had her sister to do that channel power. Could it be? It's hard to believe, but... if she wants spiritual power, does that mean God can't channel spirits? That would explain why she had Amara perform the rite of channeling. Is that why she let Amara live? To stand in for her when the time came to channel spirits? So if God can't channel spirits, she have no claim to the throne. Ah, my DS is red! And the most crucial part too. Garon's DC Act was established under the Crown's authority. But if she has no claim to the throne, then the DC Act become null and void. No, not just the DC Act. All of the insane laws she enacted would be swept away in one fell swoop. You claim the authority of the Crown. You, of all people. That's a good one.
Have you truly lost it, lawyer?
Indeed, I would have the defense explain. It's easy, your majesty. Why is Queen Khura'in so obsessed with the Founder's Orb? Why did she let Queen Amara live? And why was having her mercifulness perform the rite of channeling in her place? The answer to these three questions point to a single conclusion. A fact that will shake the kingdom to its very core. I still do not follow, Apollo. Your Eminence, I have just one question for you, and please be honest. You can't actually channel spirits, can you? What? You believe the Queen is not capable of communing with the dead? The Feds will explain himself at once. In Khura'in, the ability to channel spirits is an absolute requirement to be a would-be queen. Or your Eminence, if you are incapable of doing that, then you have no claim to the throne. Not only that, but every law you've passed will be rendered null and void. And you, the Khura'in Royal Guard, you seem to be rather enamored with the Queen's supposed spiritual power, but what if she had none? What if she were just an ordinary person, a pretender to the throne? What's crazy talk? Impossible! Everyone knows only spirit beings can become queens. Such blasphemy! On what grounds do you make such a defamatory claim? Queen Khura'in! If you think I'm just out to defame you, then prove it! Prove it using the piece of evidence you want so badly! The freaking Founder's Orb?
Take that!
All the conditions for summoning the Founder should be in place. With the orb, we know what the Founder looks like, and as Queen, you should know the Founder's name. It's all right there. Now, if you would, Your Eminence, please show us the great spiritual power you bear as Grand Priestess of Khura'in. Oh, to witness Her Eminence's great power with our own eyes. The Holy Mother will appear before us. Oh, great miracle of miracles! Praise be Your Eminence. May your mighty spiritual power show us the way. Blind!
Enough! Enough, I say, you mindless cretins!
Your Eminence, can it be that you cannot?
No! No! I want a lord! Someone want at once!
Objection!
Aren't you forgetting something? There aren't any lawyers left in Khura'in. You can thank your DC Act for that. Your Eminence, please give us a glimpse of your magnificent spiritual power. Summon Her Holiness so she may guide us.
I have heard enough from you! Out of my sight, all of you!
If you truly are capable of channeling spirits, then get on with it already, Your Eminence.
You sneaky underhanded wretch of a lawyer!
That reminds me. You said to this effect earlier. It is time to cease this insanity.
Don't you feel stupid for saying that now? Indeed. Of all things she has said, I can think of nothing more ludicrous. Apollo, teach this deceitful, putrid queen a lesson she won't soon forget. Gladly, because it really is time to cease this insanity. Garon! Your reign of terror ends here! That may be a thumbnail pick potential right there. And if you say that... Very well, demonstrating my facility. Wait, what happened? Behold, the magnificent powers to commune with the dead.
Oh, your eminence!
Oh, great spirit of the founder who dwells in the Twilight Realm, heed the secret convenient of the orb, and appear here before us!
Here it comes!
You're bluffing.
What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
Oh, Spirit of the Founder, grace us with your sacred presence. The time is now, I beseech you. Appear before us, heed my call. Founder, please.
What's her true name, though?
No, wait. I was just warming up. The rite actually starts from now. Look.
Yo, I don't even understand the language. Well, she fainted. Well, she's done. She's done. Professor Martin, how is her eminence?
It seems she now believes that she herself is the Holy Mother.
She's crazy. I see, but her attempt at spirit channeling failed, did it not?
Sadly, she seems unable to accept the facts. I fear it will be quite a challenge to question her later.
And what, if I may ask, was her motive? I understand that she killed Minister Inga in order to prevent his coup d'etat, or one of her attempts to assassinate Queen Amara.
It was just power. To become queen herself. Maybe she just craved power and attention. She likely developed a psychological complex with her inability to channel spirits. That is why she kept Queen Amara alive to perform the rite of channeling for her. In that way, it would seem as if she had great spiritual power. In short, she bet a cult personality upon fear and lies. Then again, do not all tyrants?
So then, she never really intended to kill Amara, huh?
What I don't understand is why Queen Amara even listened to Ganon in the first place, especially 14 years ago before Rafa was being held hostage. Why would she keep letting the people of Khura'in think she was dead, while she kept quietly performing the rite of channeling for Ganon? My mother is a gentle soul by nature and loves her sister dearly. So when Ganon told her to hide because Dirk was out to kill her, she believed it. What's more, she did not wish to tarnish the name of her beloved sister. That is why she acquiesced so obediently to Ganon's request to keep channeling for her. Until she fled with Dirk and was told the truth, that is.
So that's what happened. And since Rafa was being held captive, I imagine Amara had no choice but to help cover up the truth behind Inga's murder.
Yeah, living secretly as Rafa's servant, Nana. No doubt only deepened her love for her daughter. She'd do anything to keep her safe.
All the more reason to hide the painful truth from her. Well, that was a case for the ages. Monsieur Samadi has been cleared of all suspicion in the murder of Minister Inga, as has Mr. Dirk Samadi in the assassination attempt of Queen Amara. Now then, I think it's high time I headed down my verdict on Dirk and Nayuta Samadhi. Woo! Finally! Dirk, I hope you're watching. I prove your innocence. Nayuta smiling again. And that revolution you've always dreamed of is finally happening. With this, may I finally say, this court is adjourned. Finally! Thank you. May 19th. High Court of Khura'in. Accused. Lobby. What time is it?
Way to go, Apollo! I was on the edge of my seat when those guards stormed the courtroom.
That was a shocker, alright. Can't imagine anything like that happening back home.
I know, right? I was ready to go on there and teach them a lesson myself.
Really?
I was barely able to hold her back. Hold me back? You were about to go ballistic after a while there, Athena. Yeah, well, I was thinking about helping you smack a few of them down, to be honest.
Remind me never to say or do anything to deserve a Maya Athena double suplex. You did a fine job out there today, Apollo. Thanks for all the great advice, Mr. Wright. Nah, it was all you. That perseverance and never say die attitude you showed was impressive. I actually learned a thing or two myself. What? From me? That's a laugh. There were any number of times where I wouldn't have blamed you for giving up, but you stuck it out there to the end and came away triumphant. By sheer force of will, and an inner strength forged in countless trials, you overcame the most desperate and hopeless situation I ever seen. I don't know about all that. I mean it. You've really come a long way, Apollo. I have nothing but respect for your abilities as an attorney.
Really? Aren't you exaggerating just a little bit, Mr. Wright? You did it, Apollo. You finally won his seal of approval. But what about me, Nick? My challenging's come a long way too. After all, I was deemed worthy enough to be used in 2 major crimes already.
Yeah, and 2 major chances for me to become someone for you to channel next.
Honestly, I couldn't have done this without your support, the support of each and every person here. Mr. Wright, Athena, Nayuta, and of course, Dirk. That was pretty cool, Polly!
Trucy, what are you doing here?
It's magic.
I'm afraid she employed the old let's stow away in Mr. Edward's suitcase trick. What? Though it certainly explained why my suitcase was so heavy. Tell me you at least noticed it was heavier than usual. Trucy? Do you even have a passport?
My magic panties are an extra dimensional space. It's like a mini universe in there. I could produce a passport at the drop of my hat.
Right. Maybe some things in this world are better left a mystery.
Hornhead, Barbhead! I am forever in your debt for what you've accomplished in this Hall of Justice. Without your presence, I may have never changed as I have this day. It's pathetic, I know.
That's where you're wrong, your benevolence. It was you who changed yourself. Only you could choose to defy God, and that decision was yours and yours alone. That's right, all we did was present you with an opportunity, and you made use with gusto. This victory is yours, benevolence. You should be proud of yourself.
I see. So, I am worthy of the title after all. Ha! Ha 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 ha! I shall work to heal our kingdom so that it may know peace and prosperity.
She sure bounced back quick. So, your benevolence, I take it you learned the truth of your origins? That you are the daughter of Dirk and Queen Amara?
Yes, my mother, her eminence, told me. She said it was part of my
disciplining. If you can call it that. Sounds more like blackmail. Keep quiet or I'll tell everyone you're the daughter of a criminal.
My mother was so insufferable. Or should I say, my former mother.
Sounds like there was no love lost there.
When you clear Dirk's name, my true father will no longer be known as a criminal. Therefore, I have nothing more to fear.
So what's next for the Kingdom of Khura'in? I mean, you lost your queen, so... Her benevolence will ascend to the throne? Nayuda! But she can't tell spirits yet, right? Indeed, which is why I will act as regent on her behalf. Until the day she comes into her own.
Yes, your help will be greatly appreciated, Prosecutor Assad. Big...
Buh? Is she going to say what I think she is?
What are you looking at, you hornhead nincompoop?
Ow!
In any event, I will be assisted by Nayuda and Queen Amara for the time being.
Queen Amara?
Our country offers counsel to the rulers of neighboring kingdoms through channeling. It is a duty I intend to fulfill myself one day. But for now, I will have Queen Amara assist me in the capacity.
So then, she's going to be alright?
Yes, it seems the bullet went straight through her without doing any serious damage.
That's a relief. So much heavy text. You did it, AJ! Thanks to you, both Dirk and Nayuda beat the charges against him. And you got the revolution rolling to boot. The revolution? Dirk. I guess you were right to believe me after all. Yes, sir, there's gotta be some major changes around here. The legal systems are gotta return to rightful state, like how Dirk always wanted. And the name of Apollo Justice will go down in Khura'in's history. Yeah, right. Oh, Nayuda, before I forget, there was something I wanted to give you before I head back home. You wish to give me something? Yes, as Dirk's birth son, I think you should have this. Please tell me it's this.
Take that!
This is Dirk's? I have to get back to the States, and I know you're a prosecutor and all, but as the man that's going to change Khura'in, it's only right that you have it. To change Khura'in. Yeah, in Dirk's place. Apollo, I am afraid I must refuse your gift. What? Why? There is something I would like to show you. Huh? What's this all of a sudden? Mr. Wright, won't you and your friends please join us? Oh, sure.